The theme of the day is summarized in one single word: indicators. Indicators are not everything, we know that, but they will be the core of the information system for monitoring and evaluation in the future. And they are already the core of the current CMEF. If you have already been involved in the past, or if you are currently dealing with CMEF indicators in one way or the other, either as evaluators or in the collection of data for indicators or with the IT systems, please let us know if you are involved in this. That is quite a surprise, many more than I actually thought. One of our goals today is to assure you, and we wish that you come away reassured at the end of the day, that what we are developing is not only useful and will serve the purpose, but it is also realistic and feasible, and that it will not create any unnecessary administrative burden, and perhaps in some areas even reduce and simplify over what is currently there.
Of impact indicators, exactly the same and more complicated. And the only thing we got from the only disclaimer we have here on impact indicators is one phrase: it is recognized that the current impact indicators, particularly the environmental ones, have proved challenging for managing authorities. You bet. It was not challenging, it was impossible.
Still a feeling, perhaps in the room, that this is a top-down approach, that what we are presenting for discussion is sort of a bit of window dressing, and then we will go away and come back in the legislation with the same list. I think I wanted to make this point at the beginning, that this is supposed to be a different exercise.
Do you stand with the preparation of the new CMEF for the rural development programs?
The basic rules, the basic acts, the basic framework for the new policies for the new period are currently being discussed. The Commission came out with its proposals last October and are now being discussed in the Parliament and in the Council. But because rural development programs, for example, they take a lot of time to prepare, and we need all the stakeholders involved in that process. At the same time, we have to start thinking now about how are we going to implement the new policies. So this is where we are.
The basic parameters are more or less known. We know that there will be common indicators, that there will be an evaluation plan for each rural development program. What we have to do now is to give shape to the different elements of the system.
What I was pretty impressed about, and also maybe happy about, was that when member states had something to say, they were not afraid of saying so. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was different from the setting that we usually have. This formal evaluation expert committee, where people are more representing their country. Here, in round tables, they were forgetting this label of the country, and they would speak up, which shows that they really have some kind of interconnection and interaction with the Commission, because everybody forgot labels. And that's something that really struck me, because I was not sure that it was going to be that way, and in such a transparent but also nice way. I mean, there was no major.
Did you find today's work useful to improve the indicator set?
I think the discussion was useful, I think mainly to get people really familiar with how the indicators are developing and to start discussing them.
Yeah, I think today's work was quite useful, and we had a lot of ideas and discussions with our members who were in our group.
Today I found the day very useful, and I think it's really useful if we're thinking about the definitions and the possibility of application of the indicator system.
I think first of all there's an issue of commitment and involvement and engagement. This is only going to work if we're all in it together. You know, there's a lot of partners in this process. There's managing authorities, there's implementing agencies, there's evaluators, there's the Commission, there's statistical authorities, there's the beneficiaries. We all have to see the value of monitoring and evaluation. We all have to be convinced that what we're contributing to is what nobody likes working for something that they feel is worthless. So we have to have a system that counts for something, that can really do something useful. And this means we have to work together to put that together.
So for this coming hour, we will be working with three different rounds. The first round, we will look at the result indicators or issues related to result indicators. Then we will be looking at the output indicator approach, either remarks on individual indicators or general remarks on the approach proposed. And then the next 20 minutes, we will be working on impact indicators.
Actually, we don't understand at what stage do we need to collect information. Okay. And we are in the opinion that information source must be the payment database, so that the information must be collected at the stage of the payment and not at the stage of the approval of the application.
Okay, so you have something.
Several points. We need more precise definition of indicator, proposal, a special guideline for indicators. That means not only output indicators but also the result and impact indicators. Another question is, do you ask for, concerning the expenditure, do you ask for commitment or payment or allocation? What's about top-ups? Are they included? And other indicators, the payments, are the investment or area related?
We had to discuss about more than one indicator per minute, which was not possible, and this created quite a frustration in our group.
We must have the opportunity to send written comments.
Mainly the impact indicators. I think that it should be at European level and not at national level.
It's a lot of work to make the indicator set more feasible for the national authorities to collect the data.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure that we have the opportunity to express ourselves on the overall project at the moment.
Impact indicators at EU level and not at member state level, first of all, flexibility of the system, availability of the system.
The monitoring and evaluation system, it could be much more easier and quite less indicators.
We find indicators which really show how the program contributes to rural development and social inclusion and rural economy, because there are such big structural changes and many other processes going on. And that is a challenge to find those indicators.
I think this has not finished. I mean, work will continue now somehow, because there will be another events which will discuss the monitoring and evaluation system again. So and they said it clearly that this was just a start. And that's
I feel a bit tired. It was very intensive. I think it was useful, certainly.
It was very intensive for participants as well. It was the first time we were going out with indicators, with this first proposal. It was just a first step. Very intense. Now we have a lot to think about, all back into our offices. The Commission certainly, but not just. I feel also participants, whether from managing authorities, from organizations, from networks. We all need now some time to think about what was said, what was discussed, and come back in the future again to rediscuss these proposals, these indicators, and continue to improve the proposals.
Carlo, to the practical side of your question, I mean, what we do with it, each single word here on the moderation cards, flip charts, and also harvest sheets will be transcribed electronically for a conference record, so no word is lost there. You can imagine that it's really a lot of work, but also a lot of information.
I think that there are much to do still about the indicator set and how to really make them more adequate and feasible and understandable and usable. And that's interesting work to be done.
I think that we have a lot of work to do, and we have to think. I say also that we have to put inside all our willness.